Okay, next segment we're going to be working on our punches. The punches are, again, derivative of our push-ups, where you want to maintain a stiff and relaxed straight fist with straight wrist. Elbows on the inside, and we want a butterfly as something that I'm working on myself personally.
You can, for the simple purpose if you're clear to here and you need to make a hard punch, but you don't want to absorb that energy to go this way, like this.
Right.
You can go ahead and go out and punch, boom. This way the energy goes in and it goes out. This way you're no longer restricted. You can go ahead and take another one. So then, so you kind of can, but what you want mostly is to have these inconspicuous, coming from without this this heavy motion.
We're not swinging for the fence. The short, powerful hits with control. And you want to make sure that you're punching through your opponent. A lot of times you want to aim towards a position, whether you're looking to utilize a 6-point. So if you're applying pressure towards a certain area where you're looking to then manipulate, or B, if you're looking to shock, or if you're looking to damage. In those cases, you always want to kind of aim towards the backbone. So as you're directing towards the backbone, it'll always envelop most of the body that you're punching. So what we'll do is we'll walk around one at a time, and we're going to look for different positions as your fist is touching the points of the body where they're comfortable. You're not hitting any bone. You don't want to ever hit the bone, as that will damage your hand and maybe disable you to continue to defend yourself any longer. So we want to look at different points where it's comfortable, where you might notice that it's going to perform the way you want it to.
You're also looking towards points to move the body and manipulate them.
You're looking for
a hit. So let's say just like we were doing the 6 points earlier, you know, except with the fists. First, you're just feeling to make sure that you're getting the feel for the impacts. Make sure that every hit is a comfortable one, and then just go to pushing.
So, just like when we're testing the 6 points and levers, you're going to push for certain areas, look for limitations. Look for where the punch might give you a position where it's advantageous or it may hurt your hand. Just keep yourself in a position where your knees are not locked, your back is straight. Okay. Your turn.
Well, try again, like what Jim said. Keep your back straight. Work on. Right now, we're not really hitting, not yet. Then we'll turn it into a massage, I believe. Right now, what we're looking for is so when you're hitting, so that you can manipulate the body structure.
When we begin the hitting portion, there's where you want to utilize your breathing, both of them. Whether you're the recipient or whether you're the one that's taking the punch, you always want to make sure that you're breathing. You're always breathing in with your nose, and breathing out with your mouth. The reason why you want to exhale as you're getting punched, you'll notice at that point you're exhaling all of the energy that you're expounding. You also want to make sure there's transference. For when you're getting hit, you have that energy being transferred from maybe when you're getting hit on the shoulder here, all the way down to your foot. You want to have that wave of motion so that it doesn't take an impact. If you lock up your knees, you'll rock and you'll fall back. So you always want to keep your knees unlocked.
also, we didn't cover this before, but points of impact, wherever a muscle system connects, usually right above the knee is where your muscles connect. Usually right there by the hip is where your muscles connect. Right here behind your leg where the muscles connect. Obviously right there. Same thing for the hands, right there where the muscle connects.
Right.
I mean, you get that pretty quick jerky motion hands, obviously.
A lot like when you're at the doctor and they test you with the little triangle on the back of your knee and you're looking for the reflex points. You're wanting to look for those
But
same.
it's not so much for the reflex points, because when I'm hitting an arm right here, it's kind of like in the Orient you have it's a pressure point.
Yeah.
But most pressure points, again, they are where the muscular system connects. So what you're working on in a lot of ways when you're dealing with punches is, let's say, a hit to the arm, so that afterwards his arm is kind of limp. He can't really do a whole lot with it. You know, I'm hitting right here, right about there, for instance, or right about there. Usually you want to take a kind of hit like that, right inside the elbow there. Obviously, right inside the joint there on the back. For those specific purposes. We'll go ahead and switch out to hitting. You're going to be doing the massage now, and then I'll relax, and then we'll switch out.
So this is a point also where, again, we want to make sure we're breathing either as the mannequin or the attacker. So you breathe in and then breathe out with your mouth as you're getting hit, so that you exhale everything in your body release all the air so it can absorb the impact.
What is this also used for, Jim?
This is also used for direction.
If I'm standing here, I'm the guy being punched. So to make a note to everybody, for the purposes of the person that is being punched, is not just to be a punching bag. You're learning to receive those punches. You're learning to be comfortable with being punched. What you're trying to do is relax. The more you're being punched, the more you are getting relaxed, right, with those punches.
Generally, the one that ends up winning, or the one who ends up standing still, is the one who was able to not generally deliver the most punches, but sometimes the one who was able to take the most punches and maintain their stamina. Someone could throw out a whole lot of massive, fast, quick punches and do a lot of quick damage, but if they're completely worn out and they don't know how to receive a punch, they're generally not the one that's going to end up standing. So size doesn't matter. So as he's taking these punches, breathing in and breathing out. Sometimes you get a little bit harder, you will breathe out a little bit more. As you get used to that, you don't have to think about it anymore because your body automatically reacts and adjusts to those different hits. Some of these are directional hits. Some of them are geared towards shock. Some of them are geared towards distraction. And some of them could be for pain.
Which generally results in compliance.
You would hope.
You would hope.
Okay.
Ready for your massage, Jimmy?
Ready for massage.
Okay. punches are generated loose, not tense. They could be tense for directional purposes, but the punch for directional purposes should be made not with the arm per se. That is, the arm is locked either like this or like this, and the transfer of energy comes, or the transfer of weight, I should say, comes more from your leg. To note, my whole body is not moving for this type of a hit. Or my arm is not moving for this type of a hit. It's stationary. The rest of the body is. So, as you see, if I'm hitting, see how the whole body is moving. This is the directional hits. You can also do directional hits, light ones, by just simply relaxing your arm and imagining it's like a whip, and mainly just kind of like you're throwing that whip or throwing a baseball. You should hear like a little bit of a clap when impact.
Your hand should be relaxed before they hit and directly after.
This is mainly for controlling. I mean, most of the ones that I've been using have been mostly just the controlling ones, to where you're hitting to change position. So if I wanted to change position here in order to make another hit here, this is the idea. So if I'm hitting here, hitting back this way, hitting downward, hitting back up, hitting nose, moving the arm in order for him just to move basically a few inches this way, possibly for me to work the lever system. Well, now he's still in control.
Keeping his hand, his fist is completely flat the whole time. You don't want to knuckle it up.
Not tense.
Very flat and relaxed.
Very flat and relaxed.
You have more contact point, which is going to give you more control and more direction. If you're knuckled up, you're going to hurt yourself, and also you're going to have less contact point and getting less effect in less direction.
For being able to put. These light hits, like the chain, where you're putting your whole body into it. You're actually, for one, after you're, let's say, taking the attacker's energy, like if Jim was to punch me, but if, like you're punching me, then from here, you've absorbed all that energy, and now it's coming back at him, plus the weight of my body for that split second. So, this is, some of these punches could be actually very deadly for as light as they are, in consideration to how much energy you're not using really. It's just like taking a, let's say what, arms weigh both together maybe 45 pounds, something like a 50 pounds maybe. So you're taking roughly a 25 pound dumbbell and throwing it, if you will. Rather than slowing it down with your own muscular system, you're taking a dumbbell, just throwing it. So then you'll be able to accumulate the most amount of velocity.
Uses the least amount of energy as well. If you're swinging from the fence, you're going to get tired fast, have less control.
Yeah. So if I'm hitting here, as you can see, I'm already in the blocking position as well. So if Jimmy was to go ahead and punch me on my way back, I'm already here, and I'm already working some of the other systems.
Right. Alright, so we're going to look at the same thing, and we're going to trade off now doing energy transference as we were just discussing. So we'll show you a few as we trade off how the punches can be flowed back and forth. You want to keep that energy moving and flowing, and then we'll move forward from there.
Do not attempt, make sure they're here. Do not attempt to try and beat that person to the punch. At first, you want to start off slow and just kind of almost like you're a movie actor. Try and imagine like you're getting punched and then you're giving it back. Because in essence, that's exactly what happens. And the difference is that it doesn't take, if you've noticed here, it's not that the reaction comes with the speed of your hit. I mean, the hit was now and it came around that slowly, right? I mean, I could hit this way and see how slow it comes around. Sometimes I can hit this way, right? How about if I hit to the stomach, you see how that energy just kind of flowed up through him, and he's not trying to beat me to the punch by reacting. So you see a nice smooth transfer. Nice smooth transfer. So it's not like, okay, I'm gonna react to him before he even has a chance. No, what you're trying to do is you're trying to react according to that energy feeling inside you. 90% of the work that we're doing here is on us, is on yourself. It's not that you're working on your partner, that's a part of it, a major one, but most of the work you're doing is inside. You're working mainly on yourself.
This exercise is not to see the reaction as we were in some other practices before, but now, like I said, you're looking for how you're going to have that energy flow through your system and not use your own energy to give it right back to them so that you can maintain your longevity. Keep your knees bent. Allows you to be pliable. Also teaches your body and your muscles what to do and how to react at a point where you might not have a chance to think about it. So your body might take over and take control in a situation where you need it to. Because the moment you have to think about it, it's too late.
Sometimes you see how the energy either slows down or speeds up, and how much control you have over that. So within a fragment, let's say, of somebody, you're unexpectedly being hit in the stomach, right? So let's say he's hit me in the stomach. You're unexpected. Well, he's not. He's seeing you just moving back. He doesn't expect to get hit.
Same thing we were working on with the chain and the kicks. You can either add additional speed and energy to it or diffuse it. Your choice.
Your choice.
Yeah.
Not your attackers.
Not your attacker's choice. You can either add their energy and give it back to them with extensive force, or diffuse it, and either way, they're hopefully disabled. Hopefully.
You have a couple of volatile areas, one being the solar plexus. By doing this exercise, what we're attempting to do is we're attempting to kill off all the volatile areas around two major ones which we really don't have that much control over. I mean, there is something that can be done about the face. Again, you know, as he's hitting, it's possible to just kind of go with it. You still might get a broken jaw. I would not recommend it. I would prefer myself to, instead of taking one like this, you know, to bringing it out, and now you have a lever that you can use. You can hit, you can hit, you can hit, you can work the lever system wherever possible. So it's in such a way we're protecting a very small area of the body. A very small area of the body. Right? And all the rest, fine. He'll hit me in the shoulder, he'll hit me below the solar plexus. I'm absolutely fine with that.
Right. You will get hit. It's gonna happen.
I mean, if somebody's training not to get hit, if you get into a real fight, I can assure you, the first thing you're going to be shocked by is being hit.
Right. Or hitting someone without a pad on your hand and in shock because your fist didn't realize what was going on.
Right, because the muscle memory, the skin memory, the memory of your whole being, if you will, to hitting something is dampened and changed by the virtue of having gloves on. And the sole reason for that is because people don't know how to take that hit.
Now what we're going to work on is...
But we're training slow.
Right? Yeah, slow so that you have the muscle memory, also so that you have the feel of what it has to get that done. Right.
At first, catch.
All right, so we're going to work on...
At first you catch him. You tell him.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
You catch him. No, let's say we're fighting, right?
Right.
You're hitting me, I'm hitting you, we're kind of going back and forth, and then all of a sudden your hand ends up, oh, okay, I got that moment. Right. Oh, there's another moment that I remember from this training exercise. Oh, there's another moment I remember from that training exercise. You know, so little by little, at first, when you're a beginner, don't be discouraged by the fact that you're only getting maybe 5% of these moments if you're working more than lower speeds. Let's say you're working in medium to higher range speeds. You're missing out a lot at first. Then you're getting to 10%, 20%, 30%, 40, 50, 60, and so on and so forth. Until some people might be, it depends then at that point who has what kind of experience, one versus the other, right? So if it's, let's say, two professionals working with each other, then maybe both are able to only catch 50% of each other's movements, right? Versus, let's say, if somebody is less than experienced, by the virtue, let's say, 50, 75%, right? The two differences. Well, the guy with the 75% is that. He's able to use his up to a 75% effectiveness ratio, right? Versus the guy with the 50%, he's missing out. So he is getting hit more, but that doesn't mean that he's going to lose an encounter. That only means that the other guy can visualize, rather than like a still frame shot, he's getting a motion picture now. He's getting movie. Versus, let's say, just a still frame, that would be a move-based style.
Right.
Like you gotta move. That's a move, right? So the move-based style this is a still frame picture, right? This is how it's supposed to work. Well, what if you're right here? No, it doesn't feel right. Well, what if you're right here? That doesn't feel right either. Oh, and I'm falling down.
There's that 2 inches before and after that punch, where it's ineffective. 2 inches too close, 2 inches too far. So as he's hitting, or as he's throwing a punch at me, if you were to walk into the punch, it's diffused. If he was to punch at me and I was to step back just 2 inches, it's diffused. So it's always good to keep in close and tight if you can.
Okay.
Similar to, like, say, a race car driver, they're going around the track. If they didn't take a couple practice laps slowly to feel for the corners, to feel what the straights are, the distance between the wall and the inside corners, and then they just get on the racetrack and they're at full speed all of a sudden, and everybody else on the track had a chance to practice slowly, they're at a great disadvantage.
Well, what happens to those same drivers, if one of them, they're all working at maximum speeds. I mean, they cannot go any faster.
Right.
to negotiate those turns and everything, they are working at absolute maximum possible speeds for that vehicle to be still controllable. What happens when there's one vehicle that swerves, loses control, mechanical breakdown, something, and then all these drivers are moving at maximum speed? Wreck, they no longer have control over that speed. That speed becomes too great for their abilities to control it. So again, is speed good? Is speed bad?
Depends.
It depends. So if speed does not have the element of control to it, it's bad. So if you feel that you're going fast, but you're not sure what you're doing, you're losing out, and you can feel that you don't have the control, stop what you're doing, slow it down, and start over.
Excellent. Okay, so now we've looked at practicing our 6 points. We've looked at locating and using levers. We've looked at punching. And as system as they are, it is defense. It's not designed initially for the initial attacker. So now what we're going to take a look at is incorporating what we've used already with all three combined together. So we're going to practice as taking slow punches at each other and reacting at the 6 points using levers to take the person down. And we'll do it in a way that we ended up last time, where we're going to roll out of our falls and then trade off.
Are we going to be using arms for defense on this in a mixture, or are we not going to have arms? The guy that is being attacked, is he going to have arms to punch back? Is he going to have arms to block?
If they attack, well, yeah,
So let's say if you're attacking me, do I block, and then you're going to come in and do your thing, or do I just let you hit me without having arms, and then as I raise them or lower them, this is the sole ability that I would look at, for instance, and then you would work on me in that way, and then I would work on you in the same way, or do we want to incorporate an element of a certain block to where you can readjust for that block? Which one do you want to do?
Let's use a certain block, and then we can readjust from there.
All right, one block.
One block, and then a takedown.
Go ahead. Well, we'll just switch out. Okay. Nice. Okay, let's switch. Remember, you only got one blood tube.
Okay.
And what?
That's right.
So, one. So I'm seeing this develop. right here. See, this is where we're able to start incorporating this. You see why I'm doing it slowly?
Right.
So you're kind of, okay, well, now, you know, just like what happened here, right? I end up in a certain disposition. To you, well, instead of me going here, right, I can go this way, right? And then come back and put myself into a right stand. Again, where I'm zeroed up, right? Okay, so if I went here, let's see. Oh, okay, so boom. Okay, so from here, boom. See what I'm doing?
Yeah.
You want to flip it back around afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay. You do the same thing?
Right.
Okay, because you're trying to judge your
I didn't know you were
mistakes.
blocking once.
Yeah, one block, and then that's it. And you,
Got it.
okay. Okay, so right here. So moving here. Boom. Got the hit. I got the arm. So if a jab happens, switch up.
Okay. Nice.
You can incorporate other punches or hits.
Okay.
Remember, the whole idea right now is not to.
Right.
It's to see what and all is happening. Maybe there's a knee involved somewhere.
Right.
Remember, like I went over here. Okay, I'm thinking, well, I'm too much this way. How do I reposition myself, right? And take advantage of the situation. So, and you see it right now. It's looking totally different here, right?
Yeah.
It was the same block, same absolute block. So you came in, right?
Yeah.
Same block. We ended up, now all of a sudden he feels though that there's something different that needs to happen, right?
Right.
Than the first original time.
Can't do it if I'm doing too quick.
No,
I get so excited.
you're moving a little bit more.
Right.
Now all of a sudden picture changes.
Right.
You can no longer be restricted by, yeah,
Right. No moves.
no moves. You're watching it. Okay. Now you see it. Now you don't. Right.
Got it.
Okay. See, it's a different picture all the time.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Beautiful. I was thinking something totally different.
Right.
Yeah, you surprised me very, very well. I think everybody's starting to visualize if Jimmy would have had a knife, I would have been one shish kebab Mikey.
Okay. Some different.
Sure. You want to take a break? You want to work
Yeah,
something?
let's take a break.
Okay.